Hello.
Hi Joss, this is
Hi,
Dr.
Marian.
Marian Ross from ShiftYourLife.com.
Shift your life today.
Shift Your Life Today, welcome.
Why
I
wait?
have Joss Daniel here from the Grand Canyon Foundation. And Joss has invented a wonderful, I would say it's a med bed. It's a red light therapy with 30 different frequencies, which I've personally been using for months, and I've had a lot of patients using it and loving it. Joss, can you tell us about why you invented such a brilliant machine?
Yeah, sure. Thank you. It's great to be here with you and shifting your life. Beautiful, wonderful Sedona at the best time of the year here. How can it get better than that? So it was actually an evolution. It started out as an obsession slash hobby, one thing evolving out of the next. The origin story, the whole thing, I used to be a computer animator in Hollywood, and everyone was drinking energy drinks and coffee. I didn't like any of that. And we're working around the tremendous amount of high-powered computers, rendering film. But Star Trek Picard, why can't I just render my own energy drink? They all thought I was nuts and crazy. And I thought, yeah, I think we can do this. So obviously, when energy, what's the best energy source? It's up there, the sun.
It's the sun, right.
So why don't we grab the frequency? Because when you're watching a movie, everything's an algorithm. So now people watching this are like, what's he talking about movies? And how's that going to get to red light? It actually, I haven't changed careers. I'm just changing the output. Instead of a projector shooting out a digital algorithm, which you would see as a movie, I'm now projecting biophotons through red light that are called frequency nutrients, which affect your body. So there's obviously this long journey in between from there to there. So the first program set, you're going to call it that. We're really a human software company. Where software is, shifting your life.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the first program was hydrogen. So got that algorithm done. Anything can be converted into an algorithm. Like the Russians, which you know a lot about, is Kirlian photography. So everything's emitting what you call biomorphogenetic energy field. Or you can think of it as aura, and that's whatever that substance is its unique energy imprint. So the first project was, let's get the energy imprint of what hydrogen is, turn that into an algorithm. And I was actually at the very beginning of this whole hydrogen water craze. I was actually part of the first import of hydrogen into the US, technology and products, and the original doctor that pioneered it all. And hydrogen is very hard to stabilize in water, and I was involved with all the Japanese projects of hydrogen. So I thought, okay, if it's hard to stabilize in water from the chemistry, what if we, I'm from this other world. And
do it through physics.
Do it through physics, and then we don't have to worry about the hydrogen, escaping the water molecule and, vaporizing off into,
right?
yeah. So now the base underline of the technology is we can't change matter, but we can change the way matter behaves. So yeah, it's physically still H2O, but by using quantum physics, it's vibrating at the rate of hydrogen. So I got a whole lab together. I rented a office complex thing, and one thing led to the next, and had all these interesting electrical engineers on building this elaborate plumbing. So they're like, what are you doing? This electronics and water. And I said, whatever you do, don't drink more than like a few ounces of this, because it's like really powerful. Now, they didn't see any additives. All they saw was just plumbing water. And this one guy drank like a whole, I came back I was working the other job too. I came back the next day, and one guy was there, and I saw these pictures. I said, how much have you drank? He's like, oh, I've been drinking. I was like, oh my God. He's like, now I know what you mean. He was like, I was bouncing off the walls for like 2 days. It had so much energy. So it was just water with the frequency of hydrogen. I was like, everyone's running around like, let's put some chemistry ingredient in there, so you drink that and you get this energy. So it was just hydrogen. So then I was bottling it in water bottles, shipping that around. I was like, this is heavy, and the bottles would break because I wanted to use glass because of the plastic. No matter how much material I put on there, I was packing it like wine crates, and it was the bottles of people complained, some bottles broke, and I had people buying, and it was expensive water. One case of the water was like around $180 plus shipping was another $100. I had one guy who was buying 6 cases a month because it helped him with a lot of issues. So he was spending in excess of $1,000 a month just for water. And then the bottles would break during shipping. and finally realized, well, he's not buying this because he wants the water. Water's everywhere. So why don't we forget about the water and just program crystals? So then there was the crystal phase.
You went through, you were programming crystals with hydrogen.
That you could eat. So I was taking things
Oh.
like, not like those type of crystals and sedona, like things, silica. So I was getting like bamboo, silica, and I was programming that. Horsetail also has high, so I was
Right.
finding these different chemistry ingredients that were high in silica content, and programming those. So they're like edible, safe silica. They're food grade silica, bioavailable. So instead of shipping a whole case of water, now we could just have a little crystal concentrate drink, and then they could find their own water, and that magically changed the whole world of nightmare shipping of heavy water. That you lose money shipping heavy water. So then, they're going through that evolution. I thought, well, why don't we just make it so people can just make their own? And then the first device was the handheld red light device. So we just program that, shine it, and boom, now you have your own, you can call it structured water, hydrogen. And then I started adding more frequencies in. Why stop at one? Let's do more. There's no limits. Let's add things like glutathione, these master antibiotics. So then whenever you shine it on that, it's still H2O, but we're shifting, like Shift Your Life, we're shifting the frequency of that. So now it's behaving like glutathione, hydrogen, vitamin C, all these other. I broke it down into three main different categories, whatever you want. It's basically, I'm making it for me. Brain nootropics, I got all the best brain nootropics, pain, that's
And an inflammation.
pain, inflammation, trauma world, and then anti-aging world, build collagen, elastin. So those are the three kind of things. I thought, okay, well, we got the little handheld, let's go bigger, better, more power. So now we're at the panels, which are insane amounts of power.
They're
today.
what? They're 1,800 watts, aren't they?
Yeah, that's a lot of power.
It's a lot of wattage.
Yeah, so out of all the different red light, it's obviously, when people look at my panel, like, that is so bright. Now, it's the only red light panel, too, you can look at. You can keep your eye. I've stared at that thing for hours. My vision just keeps getting better. No,
Wow, can it get rid of cataracts?
I can't make medical claims. I
You don't know.
don't know yet, but it feels really good.
It does feel really good. Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
So you need about a half an hour dose a day?
I'd recommend at least half an hour dose. Like, what have you noticed? Because I just build this stuff. You're actually a practitioner out in the
Yeah,
field
it's
using it.
wonderful. Everyone loves it. They never want to leave.
Yeah, that's
It's a problem. They're
I know.
totally relaxed, and they sleep really well the night they've been doing it.
yeah. I've had a lot of people with insomnia. That they say that's.
Yeah.
People say it feels like a warm, buttery, soft energy. Another-
So it's more like a med bed.
Yeah, definitely. I would.
Absolutely.
It is. People keep talking about med bed this, med bed that. I'm like,
What's a med bed?
well, if there's a med bed, I think this is it.
It's red light plus. So what kind of red light is in there? And what does the red light do for you?
Yeah, it's
Notwithstanding the frequency.
right. This is where it gets. This is like the movie Inception. We're like a world encoded within a world, like those Russian dolls. Because one of my big specialties in Hollywood, the thing I was obsessed about, is layering. My mom, I got that from my mom because she was an award-winning artist. My friends used to make fun of her when they come over to the house because she would save the dryer lint. She'd take the dryer lint and mix it with, wasp nest and vines she'd find in the forest, and she'd make her own watercolor papers. What she was doing was layering all these different mediums and putting different paints and structures on top of that, and painting it, and adding different things on top of that. And then just water. There's always this layering, growing up and layering. A lot of Georgia. Our house was like one giant Georgia O'Keeffe museum, and we lived in Pennsylvania, far from where Georgia. People come over like, why do you have a cow skull in your house? Very eclectic growing up. So this actually goes back to why the red light. It's this layering effect. So I haven't changed careers. In a way, I'm still an abstract watercolorist, just using light. So there's 5 frequencies in there. 630, 660, 810, 830, and 850. Now there's a reason why those alone, if you just go on PubMed and look them up, all have very beneficial properties to them. Especially a lot, and some of those are for brain health, neurosynaptic brain health. So part of that is you want the layering. So obviously the red light and the near infrared light, you want to go, if this is the surface of your skin here, and then this is, you want to get to the bone marrow. So I wanted those different layers hitting, because to me they're like the delivery points.
Right.
So I got one up here, one here, one here. It's like I'm drilling for oil, but I'm delivering. So now we're hitting these different depths of the skin. So now the frequency, every biophoton of the light is encoded with the 30 frequencies in there. You know, we'll just pick one of them, glutathione, because it's a popular one. So the glutathione's penetrating all levels, and your body is receiving the glutathione through this technology you're calling frequency nutrients. So it's being absorbed, and you're drinking it in. So it's this encoding with encoding. If anyone can follow that, congratulations, you're in now Mensa scholarship award.
So how far away from the actual light source do you have to be to receive it? And do you have to be naked, or could you be clothed?
That would be a great line to say while you're out on a date. Hey, you want to come back to my red light lounge?
Yes, and take your clothes off.
Works best if you're naked. That's an interesting pickup line. But most red light, they're all about the beam angle. So obviously the closer you're going to get more absorption. So for traditional red light, that's true. Now what we're moving into is rooms filled with red. As far as I know, I'm the first person that said you don't need to wear glasses. It's fine for your eyes. Now, years later, they say, oh yeah, it's fine.
It's very good for your eyes, in fact.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah.
Now that red light with the frequency programming that's encoded in there is always soft and smooth. And I've had people who are very sensitive to other red light devices. They're like, for some reason, the other ones, I kind of have this edgy feeling, but yours, it feels softer and it's so bright. The reason why it's this added brightness is the biophotonic programming in there makes it more bright. So we could actually have less wattage, but it's brighter. It's more intensity. And going back to the question on closeness, the way these biophotons work is we did one at Conscious Life Expo, and I recently did we're now doing yoga. And actually, if you want to start a business, here's a really easy business. Get a few of my red light panels, put 4, one in each corner, and get the speaker set I have, because that also delivers the sound, the frequency through sound. And people just come in, sit in there, and they're bathing in it, because they're bouncing around the room. So you're getting absorption of this digital frequency nutrients. What you're just sitting in there. You could be, it could be 10 feet that way. You're still getting dosed, because you may not be getting like
the same intensity
as like a traditional just red light bed itself, but you're getting the biophotonic frequency nutrients. They're definitely being absorbed. I've had countless people going through that room. The next day we had all kinds of stories.
Wow. Can you get too much?
No, your body will absorb as much as it needs, and you can't. It's impossible to overdose.
Wonderful. And then you have the handheld light when you don't have the big light.
Right.
So you're using that on all kinds of food, and so am I. What's it doing to food?
We can't change matter. We can change the way matter behaves. So what happens, if I'm running through an airport, good luck finding organic quiche. You're going to find that in there. Maybe if you're in a like in Oslo, Norway, they have great best airport food in the world I've ever seen. But so if I take the light and I shine that on a cheese pizza, it's now healthy. You're like, what are you talking about? It's no longer cheese pizza with tomato sauce, and probably the tomato sauce is high fructose corn syrup. It's now vibrating at the rate of like glutathione and hydrogen, and your body will respond as if it's very healthy.
So whatever you're eating will go to the highest vibratory frequency.
Correct.
After the light is shining.
Do that on all the food.
So it should be structuring the water in your body.
Oh,
actually.
absolutely does. The other thing is, some people, I don't believe that this guy's out of his mind. I've heard it, believe me, every attack, insult, I'm over it all. The one thing you can't deny is it changes the taste. I just a group yesterday, coffee. The things that are on the edge of the alkaline scale, acidic alkaline, like coffee, lemon, chocolate. Coffee is insanely noticeable. Get the cheapest, nastiest coffee you can find. Very bitter, caustic. Taste that. Hit that with that red light, and it happens at the speed of light. That coffee the bitterness will be knocked out. It'll taste like very expensive Italian roasted.
Espresso. And what does it do to the mold toxins?
Now, the chemistry-wise, mold toxins will still be in there.
Okay.
But it is, they're their vibratory rate will be changed. I would still recommend not eat
Not
have coffee with
having
milk.
non-organic
However, if
coffee.
you're stuck and they're in there, at
Mhm.
least you're mitigating some of the damage.
And what does it do to sugar?
Neutralize it. That is a very interesting, because I'm getting really into sugar. And I could do a 3-hour talk just about sugar, but I did an experiment with gummy bears, and I had I made a bunch of bags of. I just needed some fast and quick, so I bought a lot of very unhealthy gummy bears. You know, high fructose corn syrup gummy bears, and I put them in these bags, and I programmed them with this frequency as a concept
Mhm.
for a new health product. And
I think I still have a bag of those. I haven't opened yet.
oh yeah, they're still good. It doesn't feel
Okay.
bad. And we're at an event, and me and a bunch of my friends, we were at a biohacking conference
Mhm.
a few years ago. We're eating these. A guy that knew us came up, and I said, "Here, yeah, you should take a bag," and he ate the whole bag. And then he looked at the ingredients and said, "Oh my God, like, you know, I'm very sensitive to sugar, and these are all like, I thought you guys are so into health. You're eating high fructose."
Mhm.
So then he kind of freaked out. But what he didn't have is it didn't affect them. So we know it's working.
Wonderful.
Oh, now going back to sugar, another thing, I'm an advocate on tagatose. Actually, we need help on tagatose. I don't own the company or anything, but I'm using tagatose as a new sweetener in a electrolyte drink mix. I'm coming
Mhm.
up. Tagatose is the ultimate sweetener.
And what is tagatose?
Tagatose technically is a prebiotic fiber.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go on the Grand Canyon Foundation website, you'll see a link there for it's. I put it for RFK Jr. I'm trying to get someone in the Department of Health to do something with this. So tagatose, if sugar is a glycemic index of 100, tagatose is like at 3, so it's obviously really low.
Why aren't they using it now?
Is a really good. Now tagatose is. I've been following this thing for a long time. It's been bouncing around in universities for like 10, 20 years. Problem is it's very expensive. It was very expensive to make. Now tagatose looks like sugar, tastes like sugar. You can bake cookies like it with sugar. You could open a tagatose bake shop, make everything with, you know, cassava flour, coconut flour, and tagatose. It would be like the ultimate ketogenic bake shop. And so recently, a company called Bonumose, I'm really well connected with, made a breakthrough so they can make tagatose very affordable. I thought, oh, this is great. I'm like, I as soon as they showed up on the radar, I'm like, I'm all on board. I'm like fully, I want to use your stuff and everything. So the FDA is making them label tagatose as a sugar, but it doesn't behave as a sugar in your body. And there's an insane amount of research that has been proven tagatose is a prebiotic fiber and should not be labeled as a sugar. So they actually took the FDA to court, launched this big case, and they proved at the end of the trial is in fact tagatose is a fiber, not a sugar. It behaves as your body as a fiber. So in the nutritional facts and the supplement facts panel, it should be labeled under fiber, not sugar. And so they won the case, and then they passed the judgment over to the FDA. They said, okay, now let us give us permission to label tagatose as fiber, not sugar. They're doing it for allulose. Allulose is like a cousin to tagatose, but tagatose is way better. And the FDA says no. We're just, well, we know why. It doesn't take, you know, obviously there's
Financial interest.
I said it. You said it. I didn't. So because once word gets out about tagatose, I mean, it's over. It's like the ultimate sugar. So, so if anyone out there watching this has a connection to someone in powers that be, I put all the research on the Grand Canyon Foundation website for RFK Jr. tagatose. It's all there. Get that to the right agencies. So the problem with Bonumose now is they have tons and tons of tagatose. If you're a key person that can make something happen, I will get you tons of free tagatose.
It sounds great.
The problem is a company doesn't, they like, you know, Heinz ketchup, they don't want to do a sugar, low glycemic attack, because on the label it's going to say, you know, 30 grams of sugar. So the average person's, no, that's sugar. But no, so you got to do this whole educational thing. I don't care because I'm just me and the company. I can do whatever I
Well,
want.
you don't care because you can shine the light on anything.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Well,
So that's our little tagatose 101 lesson.
well, thank you. Any other products you've got? What about your water bottle?
Yeah, the water bottle, the flask. So whatever water or drink you put in the flask, the stainless steel holds the frequency. So whatever you put in there is going to turn into you're making your own energy drink.
And how long do you have to put the?
It happens instantaneously.
Instantaneously.
And I've had people test that out. They're like, I put the water in the flask. Also, I have other processes. This is very elaborate, structured water technology. It takes a while. But like the flask it's like the same thing.
And it's structuring the water.
Absolutely, yeah. And you can test that out. And the other cool thing with the flask is you could fill it up with water, so now it's heavy, and throw it in your swimming pool.
I've done that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
of course.
great.
Yeah.
So now all your water and your swimming and
It's structured.
is very you're swimming in anti-aging water. Your entire pool.
Absolutely.
Do you have any idea how much that would cost?
I do. I do. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Where
thank
can
you.
everyone get your products?
Oh, the other product we have is the gel too. We can't forget about the gel. Yeah.
Tell us about the gel.
The gel has nano silver in there.
Mhm.
It's a colloidal. Most people know that it's colloidal silver. So the gel, it's majority water, and then there's the nano silver, which also known as colloidal silver. There, maybe millions and millions of nano silver particles in there. It's non-transdermal, so of course I picked silver because it holds silver. Things like silver,
frequency.
stainless steel hold
Right.
frequency really well. So when you rub that gel on your face, this happens at a trade show all the time. We say, okay, whether you believe this or not, here, put someone half of your face. You'll be back tomorrow to buy it because one side is going to look significantly younger and the other isn't. So you're going to buy. It happens 100% of the time to everybody. So the gel's the same frequency set. The anti-aging, anti-aging brain nootropics.
It has all 30 frequencies.
Yeah.
Wow.
I brush my teeth every day with it. This is going to help regenerate.
And if you have a cut, it's probably very good to put on it.
Yeah, and sunburn, obviously just colloidal silver itself.
Right.
Yeah. And the main reason why people buy is pain. Obviously rub it wherever you have pain in there. So that's a
I
little
sent
magical water
12
gel.
bottles to my mother. She rubs it all over.
Oh, wow.
She's 96. She's got a lot of pain.
Oh, that's good.
She's your best customer.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've sent it to Lebanon too. I have people that are using it on their knees.
Oh, wow.
Elderly people that have trouble walking, so they put some on their knees and it relieves pain.
Yeah, it definitely.
Yeah.
As far as anything and everyone I've tried, that's the most powerful. This is the one thing is all the gel, the light, the flask. I had someone that she doesn't have. The only thing she has is the flask. She had a lot of hip pain. Just drinking water out of the flask helped her significantly.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
It's circulating through the system. Great. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for having me over.
It's wonderful.
We're shift your life.
Thank you. And
One day at a
they
time.
can find you at
Go to GrandCanyonFoundation.com, and we are our main mission is environmental, clean. We're basically land, air, water. Basically save the environment because if we don't, who is? So that's kind of our main mission statement.
Great. Well,
Thanks.
thank you so much.
All right.